What's up, Cowboy Nation? Really appreciate everybody for tuning in. My name is Law Nation. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button, share this content. And we talk Cowboys over here. And I know when I do these reviews, I get mixed reviews from a lot of people saying, hey, you should listen to them or you should listen to that. But I got a lot of people that support the community that reached out to me and said, hey, what about this topic? And trust me, I believe that Ezekiel Elliott is still Ezekiel Elliott. Now, it just proved that, hey, he just need an offensive line, right? We have a horrible situation with our offensive line. I think that Ezekiel Elliott would be better as a split back, not just the end-all, be-all back. I think that the coaching staff don't know how to use him. And everybody know that Kellen Moore don't know how to call running plays. It's just simplistic as it can be. Toss left, toss right, run up the gut. That's it. A handoff here, a handoff there. Nothing to your imaginations, you know? So that's just what I believe off the jump. But let's listen to these guys right quick, and I'm going to give you my evaluation of the evaluation of what they're trying to say and these sorts of things from their thoughts. I haven't heard the entire clip or what have you, so bear with me. So I may be doing a lot of stopping and going, but let's listen to what they got to say.
Cowboys offense should run through Zeke while Dak is sidelined for the year, but Elliott struggled against the Steelers, averaging less than 3 yards per carry. Meanwhile, his backup, Tony Pollard, had 9 carries for a team-high 57 yards, and Pollard also had 2 20-yard runs, while Elliott only has 1 this season, despite getting over 100 more carries than the second-string running back. So, Shannon, do you still feel the Cowboys should be Zeke's team right now?
I think before Shannon give his thoughts, this team need to be a team, not an individual. I think that it's 11 guys to make this situation work while it's on the field. Of course, we know it's old total of more than 50-something guys, but 46 active guys, whatever it may be. But I think that the 11 guys that's on the field need to look at it like this. One time you get the ball, one time you get the ball. You know, it's one of those things where you got to be a collective unit in order for this team to win. Now, somebody can say, well, Law, this season is over with. So it's now started to evaluate the other guys. Maybe, just maybe, you can go into the draft. Maybe you can get, what was it, Chuba Hubbard? You know, maybe you can find him in the 3rd or 2nd round or what have you. Maybe Kenneth Gainwell will fall or what have you. What about Kalen Hill from Mississippi State, Law? You like Mississippi State guys? What about those dogs over there? Well, look. I think that this thing can still be formidable with Ezekiel Elliott, with Tony Pollard, and even Rico. They just got to figure out how to use all 3, not just one. Use all 3 of those guys. And I think that you get a little mixture from everything. Tony Pollard, he can run in between the split, got good enough speed to capture the edge, and he can break one. He gonna break one before the season is over with. And Ezekiel Elliott, he's the power back now. That's just his role. He's not finesse. He's not gonna make you miss. He's not gonna bust one for 60 yards or what have you. If so, he's gonna be tapping the helmet. But I think that if you can mix in Rico, if you can mix in Tony Pollard a little bit better, then we'll see a whole lot better as it relates to this running.
I think with Dak being out, Skip, they should still be a running team first. Now, I do believe that Pollard has earned the right to get more carries in the ball game. Now, what we normally see, Skip, when we see change of pace backs, when they get more and more carries, that goes down. Because there's such a change of pace, because you have to understand, Zeke is what I call a bullback now, Skip. The explosion through the hole, we're not seeing that. So now Pollard is able to get to and get through the hole quicker than Zeke. So he's going to, but if you play him, the more you play him, he's not a guy that's going to give you better and better production as he gets more and more carries. He's basically a 10, 11, maybe 12 carry a game guy that's going to give you great production. He'll give you 5, 7 yards per carry. But then people start thinking, well, just think if we gave him 20, 25 carries, Skip, his body's not built to carry the ball like that. True. Zeke has to understand he's going to have to share more of the running load because, Skip, Zeke has got a lot of carries. He's getting some mileage up on that body. And although it might look good, that engine has been running for a while. They put a lot of miles, and Zeke runs to contact. Zeke is not a guy that makes you miss. Zeke is trying to run through you. Zeke is not running out of bounds. So that's accumulated over his early 5-year career. So I do believe Tony Pollard has earned more carries than what he's getting. Also,
before he go into details of it, just Picture this, Cowboy Nation. Nobody touched the ball more than Ezekiel Elliott since 2016. Nobody. You can't find a stat. Like the next closest person is about 180 some odd touches away from what Ezekiel Elliott had to touch the ball, So he went through a lot. He going through a lot of what have you. And on top of that, you have a porous offensive line, and you have a makeshift coach who really don't know how to utilize him. Kellen Moore don't know how to utilize him. Think about it. This is Kellen Moore's second year ever calling offense. So you think that he's going to be more equipped to call running plays? Come on, Cowboy Nation. Let this thing happen the way it's supposed to happen. This guy is going through growing pains. And I'm talking about Kellen Moore. Newsflash. He was a quarterback, right? Went from a quarterback to a quarterback coach, from a quarterback coach to an offensive coordinator. And on top of that, what he learned from is from a Scott Linehan and a Jason Garrett. And both of those guys were more so on the offensive side, leaning on the aspect of quarterback stuff. I don't know where Kellen Moore will ever pull the rights of knowing when to run the ball. That's the reality of it. He's no Eric Bieniemy. I want you guys to Google and look up Eric Bieniemy's resume. And I know that they got a prolific passing situation, but it's a great unity between that coach, Andy Reid, and Eric Bieniemy. It's like, boy, peanut butter and jelly time, because they rhyme and they also matches up together right on time, right? But let's listen to more what they got to say.
Not necessarily that it has to be Zeke's team, but it definitely needs to be a running team. Now, Zeke is averaging 4.1 yards on first down.
That's
but
good.
Skip, I look at it yesterday Sunday. Hell, I know Zeke gonna get the ball on first down. You got Andy Dalton and you got Danucci, and now you got Gary Gilbert. What the hell you think you're gonna do on first down? You actually think I'm gonna let you think you're gonna play action pass and throw a deep ball? You're gonna turn around and either hand it or pitch it to Zeke. That's what you're gonna do, Skip. So I'm gearing up on first down to shut down your run. And they got no imagination. I'm looking at all these other teams and all the imagination that they run in the running game, Skip. And I'm looking at the Cowboys. Hand off left, hand off right, toss left, toss right. And then at the most inopportune time, Skip, we're going to try to hit you with a reverse wide receiver pass and get stopped for a 16-yard loss. Wow. But, Skip, I agree. Tony Pollard has earned the right to get more carries. It doesn't necessarily have to be, okay, this is a Zeke team now. This needs to be a running team. Because I don't believe Garrett Gilbert now. Stephen Jones says that when Andy comes back, Andy's going to get the job. But I don't believe Andy can throw us the wins. I believe that things going to have to be play action, because I still don't trust your offensive line. Now, they did a commendable job. But the question is, what happens when you play a four-down front and those guys don't walk and you have to put those guys in coverage? Because I still don't trust your offensive line, Skip. I still believe they're better run blockers than they are pass protectors.
Most offensive linemen, and if you play offensive lineman, let me know. You can disagree with me if you want. But y'all want to run the ball. Y'all want to get down and dirty and gritty. Y'all want to get nasty with it. You want to put your hands on somebody. You want to get pulled around to the edge. You want to let people know that this 330 pounds that I got, that God gave me, I want to put it all on you. You want that action. You want to go out there and be swinging to the edge there. And you look, the offensive lineman dream is to, when he get in the open field and he see that DB that's 205 or 185. Ooh, and you know he's going at the knees, but if he can get to him first, let me know, offensive linemen, offensive tackles. Let me know how you guys feel when you just grab that little light body. Especially if he's 185 pounds and you grab him and you throw him off. Or when you see that linebacker coming downhill and that linebacker think he's about to do something with his 245 frame. And you get there first for the point of contact. Ooh, boy, I know for sure that that's how the offensive lineman's mindset is, especially in a battle, a gauntlet of pressure that's in front of you. You really want to rip through that person. Boy, you make me want to play some football. I never played offensive lineman or tackle, but I guarantee you when you get tossed, I guarantee you, I said, man, that guy feels something good. But I'm trying to get low. I'm trying to tear them knees up, baby. But let's listen to what they got to say.
So I preface everything I'm about to say with this breaking news. Trevon Diggs.
Oh, yes. It's old stuff.
A real bright spot, a real breakthrough rookie out of Alabama that I was starting to fall completely in love with. Has a broken foot and is out for 4 to 6 weeks.
Oh, y'all.
4 to 6.
Skip, he was the best guy in the secondary.
I wondered why he missed stretches of the game the other night. He did try to come back in and play on what was a broken foot.
Wow.
But, hey, he was looking like a player.
Yeah.
Like somebody who could be a difference maker,
Yes.
a ball hawk, somebody who had amnesia, who can get roasted and toasted, but
gotta
he
have
will
that to
bounce
play that
back and
position.
he will take it away from you.
Yep.
Yeah.
And he's gone, so maybe it's just snake-bitten you. Maybe it's just not meant to be, which brings me...
Yeah, this was shot about 2 days ago, so you guys bear with them. Yeah, we already know that Diggs is out for the year, what have you, but he will be back next year, bigger and better and stronger. Maybe we have Patrick Surtain on the opposite side, or Caleb, Farley. Y'all know I like that kid too, or Sean Wade. Maybe we get Sean Wade, baby. Who knows?
Me back to Ezekiel Elliott. Still love him, but for me, he has become the saddest story in the NFL on the field. I'm not talking about some life and death sort of story. I'm talking about as a football player, his decline it's hard to watch for me because I loved him so much. And I've told you now for 2 seasons, I can't see it anymore. And I think you're finally coming around to he's just not what he used to be. And usually you don't see the decline this quickly in a running back because he's still 25 years of age. And yet I keep using...
Especially with no injury. Now, Skip, you got a knee injury, you have a major injury, we get it, but not like this.
He's had nicks and knacks.
Yeah.
Nothing serious.
But running back's going to have nicks and knacks.
Yep, they are going to. So I give the decline numbers again. Rookie year, he leads the league, 109 yards rushing per game. 98 his second year, 96 his third year, both led the league. Then it falls to 85 last year, and he's down to 64 this year.
He's on pace for 1,000 yards.
Yeah.
1,000 yards for a running back is nothing now in this league.
So,
all right, so before they go into more details, I just have to say this. Last year, when we was 8-8 or what have you, I was so mad at Kellen Moore. I was, but at the same breath, I was like, yeah, he utilizing the passing game, but we depended so much on Ezekiel Elliott. He had more snaps than he ever had in his entire career with the Dallas Cowboys last year. And we looked at the whole thing like, yes, we know that was his year that he got his bag or what have you. But why would you draft a young Tony Pollard last year and don't utilize both of them? And I know that Tony Pollard in a pinch, especially at that game against the Eagles, he wanted to put the playing basketball with the football. It's just crazy. He put the ball on the ground. Nevertheless, I thought that they should have utilized Tony Pollard and Ezekiel Elliott more last year. Last year, they should have utilized those two kids a little bit more. But they used Ezekiel Elliott more than he ever used him, ever. I digress, but listen to more what they had to say.
So Sunday against the Steelers, they hung in, and we had Garrett Gilbert throwing into the end zone to maybe win the game. I know it was still a long shot, but in that game, Zeke carried 18 times for 51 yards. That's 2.8 per try. That ain't Zeke. And what did we see? He was making Tony Pollard look like a Pro Bowler because Tony would come in, and Tony's got a little wiggle and a little burst. I'm not talking about he's not a Pro Bowl running back, but he's pretty good. And compared to Zeke, running, as I say, in Cabo sand, look like he's running in slow motion. It looks like Tony Pollard can fly. And he had 2 runs, Tony Pollard did Sunday, of 20 yards. 20 yards.
That was bad.
Do you realize what's happened to Zeke on 20-plus yard runs? He had 17 his rookie year. That's pretty good. Then he missed those 4 games his second year, so he had 9. But then third year he had 15. That'll work. Then last year it fell off to 7. This year so far he has 1 20-yard run. So Tony Pollard in 1 game had 2 20-yard runs. Zeke has 1 for the whole year. There's no home run to him anymore. There's no, I don't know where the 4.40 Zeke went.
No, that's going. He ain't running 4.40 anymore. Skip, So you want Tony Pollard to get carries, or you want him to get touches?
Even though, sadly, my team still is not out of the NFC
touches,
least
man.
race. They still have
more
they're,
touches.
2-7, and they still got a shot.
They got a shot.
They get to play each of the division rivals one more time, and if you could win all three, you might have a shot.
And 2 of the 3 at home.
Yep, and you're going to have to win maybe one more game somewhere along the line. I thought it was going to be Pittsburgh, but it wasn't. My point is, if you knew for a fact that you weren't going to win the East, to your point, I might put Zeke in mothballs. I might just use him very sparingly because if you can revive him next year when Dak comes back, maybe it's next year is the year. Maybe it's not this year. Why would you waste the carries and the punishment?
That's an awful expensive suit to just hang up in your closet.
$15 million a year. Jerry Jones would say, not on my watch. Right?
Exactly.
The buck stops
But
with
Skip,
me.
when I look at Tony Pollard now, he ended up with nice numbers, but he had 4 carries on first down for a total of 1 yard.
Yep.
There you
now,
go.
On the season, he's averaging 2.9 yards a carry on 23 carries.
You have to get him loose off tackle or toss it to him.
Right.
And remember, at Memphis, I watched him quite a bit.
Oh.
He was as much a slot receiver as he was a running back. So he can do that also.
And they had him. They had the guy that the Rams took.
Yeah,
I think they took the guy from Antonio Edwards, the guy at Washington.
Yep.
So they had
weapons, man.
Right.
Gibson, yeah.
So, Skip, I think he's a guy that needs to operate out in space. He's not an eye back. He works better. If you look at these college systems, Skip, nobody running back seldom is in the eye. He's basically offset. So you're going to have to play him like that, play to his strengths. But like I said, I believe this is a better running team than pass protecting team, and you're going to have to protect it. Now, the defense is playing better. I love what I'm seeing from D-Law. Now,
Hey, this is good praise from Shay Sharp on D-Law. Oh, Law. But here's the situation. Let's be real. Let's keep it 100. Can we keep it 100, Cowboy Nation? Can you imagine Ezekiel Elliott on the 49ers systems? Would we still have these same conversations? Would we still have these same talk tracks? I think that it's a combination of issues here. I think that Ezekiel Elliott, yes, he is nicked and knacked up, right? Can anybody disagree with that, right? So he do got that. So you move that to one side of the coin. The other side of the coin that you got to think about is, and I'm not trying to hate at Kellen Moore, but I just don't think that he will be creative enough or experienced enough to create those nuanced plays to put, I can't speak today, nuanced plays to get Ezekiel at the maximum potential to run the rock. On top of that, think about this. If the 49ers or any of those prolific running teams even had Tony Pollard, what would they do with that type of running back? And I'm not trying to throw any shade or salt at the 49ers running back crew or whoever else that do these crazy nuanced running situations. But it goes to show you that sometimes you just lack experience or you lack coaching in certain categories. Now, the only way we can offset this stuff would be to utilize all three. All three. I know it's hard to digest the big old pill of truth, but $90 million, like Shay Sharp just said, that's an expensive suit to hang up in the closet. It's very expensive, but you got to look at it and start looking at the future and say, okay, how can I spread Ezekiel Elliott out instead of just use him all the way up to the tip and not being able to get anything out of him? I think the best way to be is to spread it out. Give Tony Pollard some touches. Give Rico some touches. Maybe, just maybe, throw the defenses out of loop of what's going on with this team. But let's listen more what they have to say.
The D-Law that I've seen the last 3 weeks, that's a Pro Bowl. That's an all-pro player.
Yep.
And
D-Law.
now you got Diggs is out, Skip. How y'all going to hold up on the back end?
I don't know.
We don't know.
Has got a torn hamstring. He was supposed to be back maybe Sunday, so maybe he's going to have to come
Maybe
back.
with the bye week, because you guys get the bye week.
Maybe. And Anthony Brown came back. The other corners played pretty well. So, but Trevon Diggs got a chance to be a star.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Skip. But the Cowboys it might not just be your year, Skip. I mean, you still can win, like you said, you still can win the division because this division is terrible.
Yep.
And it looks like 6 wins. Let that sink in. 6 wins is probably going to win the NFC
Let
East.
that sink in. Yeah.
That's the low that the NFL, that division, and not the NFL, because all the other divisions look like it's going to take 10, 11 wins to win the division. But 6 wins.
I got it.
And you're going to have a home playoff game, Skip. You proud of that?
No, I'm not. And I'm here to say my bottom line to this Zeke discussion is I believe they could be a little better with Tony Pollard as the every down back.
Really?
Because you could use him different ways, because Zeke has a hard time catching. He didn't have great hands. Tony Pollard has really good hands.
He needs to be able to fake, Skip. Zeke can catch the ball if you face him. It's like when he's going away because you see him, they throw the ball to him, and it's just like that.
Right through his hands.
Everybody, I mean, you look at guys like Christian McCaffrey, you look at Alvin Kamara, and they make it look easy.
They do.
But for a running back, catching the ball is not easy. Marshall Faulk and some guys can just make it look easy.
Yep.
Kamara literally could play the slot. Christian
There
McCaffrey
are
could play
ways
the
to
slot.
use a Tony Pollard, because you can just keep flipping it to him the way Brady would flip it to a running back.
Or
screen him, or toss it to him, or get him off tackle where you catch them, where you get any kind of a crease, he will hit the crease.
Yeah, but I am surprised, Skip. I am surprised that Zeke numbers have declined like they have, considering he's only 25, considering he's had no major injuries. Yeah, all running backs going to have bumps and bruises.
Right.
You don't think Derrick Henry's bumped and bruised with the load that he's carrying?
No
sure
doubt.
he is.
No doubt.
But I'm surprised. I am shocked that Zeke has not run the ball better this year.
I want to be clear about this. I am not questioning Zeke's effort. It's not an effort, because he will try so hard, body lean. He will run through a brick wall.
Right.
But when he runs through it, he's usually just falling forward for 4 or 5 yards. And then
Yeah, appreciate you guys for watching, man. Let me know if you got what you think of the review here. My thing is this right here. Kamara, he had Mark Ingram, right? His first few years, and then they went from there to Murray. They got Murray still over there in Saints land, right? But they still utilize both running backs, you know. And they utilize them in different ways. But that Kamara kid, man, come on. He's nice with it. And Christian McCaffrey, he's nice with it, too. He came back and did a hell of a game, but I think he hurt his shoulder. And those injuries start piling up on you, and then you start compensating. You start trying to favor one end, and then you start favoring another, and then that's when you become a broken down back. So over there in Panthers land, they're going to have to really do their research and maybe add in another spice of a running back in the future to help that out. Now, I don't know. I don't have their roster in front of me, but I'm quite sure that they're going to do that next draft, what have you. Let me know if I'm wrong. But I think that you can utilize the same thing with Ezekiel Elliott. I like that 4.1 yard average on the first down for Ezekiel Elliott. So what we need to do now is figure that out, even if you have to dig into your bag of tricks with the analytics situation. And say to yourself, okay, on first down, you averaging at least 4.1 yards, Ezekiel Elliott, and we know that the house know that you're going to run. Everybody, mama, uncle, cousin know that you're about to run. So on second and third down, maybe, just maybe, we put in some spices in this thing. Maybe you will have a Tony Pollard out there. Maybe you could throw a real crazy monkey wrench into the situation and have Ezekiel and Rico out there. Who knows how you can fix this thing and flex it around and bring in a little bit more creativity. But my collective thoughts on everything would be this right here. Just utilize Ezekiel Elliott in a unique way, but not always utilize him as the end-all, be-all. Post me your thoughts, post me your concerns down below. That's all the time that I have for this wonderful day. I apologize for all of the misinterruptions there, but hey, one way or another, Cowboy Nation, everything must continue to go. And hey, let's look up some of this draft situation down the line. The top running backs right now, you got the E.T. kid from Clemson. You got the Najee Harris? That's the Alabama kid, right? And Chuba, I kind of like Chuba. You know, he's one of those guys that you can really think about and say, hey, if he falls, if he drops, and I doubt it, you know. And it's just so many things that can change as it relates to running backs down the line. Shout out to people that watch this channel. And y'all already know, I'm still in love with the defensive side of the ball. Even if we go out there and find players that can make things happen on the defensive side as it relates to cornerbacks, because we're going to probably need that. Do you guys give Awuzie an extra contract, a prove-it deal for next year? because Jordan Lewis may be gone, right? Oh, we already know about the other kid, right? Was it Darian Thompson, Xavier Woods? All of those boys may be gone. So now we got to look at this draft. Maybe we go and get a Tyson Campbell, a J.C. Horn, in the second or the third round or what have you, if they so happen to fall. So we got to look at everything. I heard Asante Samuels. I don't know if this is his son or not, but I heard that he's out there from Florida State. Remember him? Asante Samuels. Maybe, just maybe. There's so many things if we don't go after the Patrick Surtains and the Caleb Farley. Because y'all know that I like those two guys. And the Caleb, believe it or not, like Ripley's, he may be the best cornerback in this draft. Because of his physical size, his traits, and on top of that, he played quarterback in high school. You guys know how they got a good feel of everything, knowing where the zones and stuff at, and knowing what the quarterback is trying to do from the opposing side. Who knows? I like Sean Wade. I think that he's a dog out of this draft too. But let's figure this thing out, Cowboy Nation. That's all the time that I have for right now. Don't forget to hit that like button, share this content. Let a friend, neighbor, foe know where to go when they want to tune in to Cowboy Sports Talk and beyond. And remember, you're listening to nothing but the best. Salute. We're out. Peace.